Welcome back to this week's episode where we dive a little into the nervous system. This is a conversation and analogy I have used a few times one on one sessions with people today or this week. So I feel like it needs to be put out into the world and a broader collective kind of needs to hear it. 333 on the timer, on the clock. So if you've been seeing that number sequence, this one's for you too. If you haven't been shown the tools to regulate your nervous system, depending on your upbringing, it is very important to understand this analogy. And this is the best way I've thought of. I think I saw it from a psychologist a really long time ago. But think of this water bottle as your nervous system. It is the capacity that your nervous system can hold for stress, for being turned on a fight or flight mode, ready to go. This is the capacity. This is how much your body can handle. This whole water bottle is your capacity, okay? Some amount of water is going to get added. That's a level of stress. If your water bottle is continuously full and overflowing from the amount of stress that you're putting your body, your mind, mental, emotional body through constantly, this water bottle remains overflowing. If there is zero ways that you know how to self-regulate and or self-regulate your nervous system, this water bottle continues to overflow, and even if you bring it down a little, it continues to overflow because there isn't enough self regulation happening to your nervous system to bring it back down to baseline, to zero. Now, each tool you learn in psychology through a psychologist and or any healthcare provider, like breath work, anything that you like doing, really, um, working out, yoga, drawing, artistic, creative outlet, each one of those would poke a hole into this water bottle. So, breath work, one little tiny hole every day. That creates one little leak coming out of this water bottle for the amount of sheer stress coming in still. Now, imagine you do breath work, you do add exercise, and you do journaling, and you do yoga. That's 4 extra holes into this water bottle that are leaking out the stress to self regulate. So the water comes down about to here. You're able to stay regulated, but you're still a little on edge. Any new additional stress that gets added in, your water bottle is overflowing again. This is your awareness of gathering where you are, how full your nervous system water bottle is step number 1. Step number 2 is figuring out how many holes do I need to poke into this nervous system water bottle so that enough pressure can be released, so that even if I have additional stressors coming in, that this consistent practice of the little things that I'm doing to poke holes into this water bottle are going to be sufficient enough to make me resilient against any new additional stressors coming in. So when I hear people say, oh, well, I do that one thing, or I do this and I do that, the number one key thing to like keeping that water level not from overflowing and staying low is a consistent practice of the various different things, either daily or weekly, that create those holes. And not each activity or tool creates an even sized or equal sized hole. Exercise might be a slightly bigger hole in this water bottle than doing a 5-second breath work, or vice versa, depending on what works for you. So it's important to find what works for you, what regulates your nervous system, that are healthy habits to poke more holes into your nervous system water bottle so that you can stay regulated. Now I'll list off some things that you can try and do and see yourself and see if these help. So I've already listed off a few: breath work, trying different breathing techniques, meditation, going for a walk, playing with your pet, playing and having family time if that is relaxing for you, working out, journaling, hanging out with a friend, grabbing your favorite cup of coffee or tea, sitting and being a couch potato if that's what's needed in that moment, diving into a creative project, arts and crafts, coloring, gardening, if you are able to do that indoors, if it's snowing outside. These are just to list off a few. You can go get yourself a massage, go for swimming if you like swimming. There's so many different things that you can do, and these are all to fill up your own cup internally and or poke holes into that nervous system water bottle. The capacity never changes of how much you can handle. That water bottle isn't going to grow magically. It's going to remain the same. It's your ability and resilience to new stressors is the holes that you poke into this nervous system water bottle capacity so that you are more resilient when more stressors get added in. And that goes for the same. If you've been able to get through life with just a couple little holes and you've kept that water level, that nervous system level up to here, so you've never really boiled over, you've never had panic attacks, none of that sort, but then all of a sudden you get additional life stressors, work stressors, relationship stressors, and then your water bottle starts overflowing. Those 2 3 things that you were doing prior, which were keeping you at bay, like were regulating your nervous system well, those 3 little holes are not enough anymore. And that's the second part of this, being able to recognize what was working and what isn't working. What was working for you when you were in your teenage years may not be the same things that work to regulate your nervous system as you grow older, and or the same amount of things that you were doing prior when your nervous system felt a little more regulated to when life gives you a little few more stressors and you feel dysregulated all of a sudden and you don't know why the things you were doing weren't working. It's not that they aren't working, it's just you need to add few more consistent things to poke holes into that same water bottle because the capacity is reached its maximum. The water bottle capacity never changes, but you are more than welcome to try out new things and new ways to poke holes in this water bottle to increase your resilience to new stressors in your life and or old stressors in your life. Comment below if this analogy made sense and or if you found this analogy a little confusing. Then I can definitely try thinking of a better one to sum up this concept. But I feel like this analogy does a really good job at showcasing that there is a limit to what we can handle and that there's things that we can do to reduce and to build our resilience and regulate our nervous system all at the same time. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, and until next week, bye.